Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Sending you warm wishes from Florida. And I'm sorry if you heard my dog in the background. But I've been thinking about my readers, particularly in the Northeast section that have been hit with a lot of storms. And I was thinking, what would be a great project that's beneficial for you and fun that you could do in the safety of your home? And I thought, well, it would not be better than taking a hot, steamy shower with your own organic soap that you made at home. So I thought, why don't we do a do-it-yourself project together, how to make your own soap. So first, we're going to gather all of our ingredients. I purchased a kit from Rambleberry, but you can purchase your items separately. You will need palm oil, coconut oil, your fragrances, which we have cranberry and espresso. We're going to use cranberry, olive oil, castor oil, and sodium hydroxide. Before I get into the measurements, I want you to know that you have to take safety precautions. You need plastic gloves, the thicker the better, or you can just use latex, as well as safety goggles. And the reason for the safety goggles has nothing to do with any of the ingredients except for the sodium hydroxide, which is the lye. Lye is extremely caustic. It will eat through skin. You have to be very careful. Never add water to lye. Always add the lye to the water. I have pre-measured all the ingredients that'll make the recipe making much faster. We have 7 ounces of water, 3 ounces of sodium hydroxide, which is the lye in crystal form, 6 ounces of coconut oil, 6 ounces of palm oil, 9 ounces of olive oil, 1 ounce of the castor oil. And if you want a very fragrance bar soap, you're going to use 1.8 ounces of a fragrance or essential oil. If you would like a more gentle fragrance, 1 ounce would be sufficient. A quick little tip before you actually combine all your ingredients is first to have an area set up where none of the lye is going to splash anywhere. So I have these towels here that are heavy duty. And I just wanted to mention palm oil. In the plastic container, it's liquefied, but once you set it in a separate container, it is going to solidify a little bit quicker. And make sure to mix it well because you want all of the fatty acids to blend. That way it gives you as much moisture and lather in your soap as possible. So now we're going to begin with adding the sodium hydroxide, the lye, into the water. Make sure you get everything in. I will be changing my gloves after this, by the way. I'm just going to grab, you can use a stick blender, but I'm just going to actually hand mix this. I want to cut. So we're going to mix. You can see right now it's really cloudy, but it's going to reach a hot temperature. You're going to start seeing condensation and it will clear up. I just want to mix it until it becomes a little bit more clear in color. If you focus in here, you can start seeing the condensation. Make sure you do this in a ventilated area because there are fumes that you are to avoid breathing in. Be very careful not to allow any of the lye water to touch skin. If by chance it does fall on a piece of your skin, make sure to rinse it for 15 minutes under running water and call poison control. Now we are going to let it sit. It'll clear up and we have to let the water temperature to cool off for a bit before we can add in any of our oils. It's been about 15 minutes or so and our lye water has cooled off and reached the clear consistency that we wanted. So we are now going to pour it into a separate glass container. We are now ready to add all of our oils. Our coconut oil, our palm oil, which much. Let's get all of those fatty acids in there. Our olive oil. And our castor oil. Now with a stick blender or a regular blender, we're going to go ahead and blend it for about 10 to 15 seconds in spurts. Sorry, I'm just having some issues here. Okay. Just at the lowest. We will keep blending until we reach a pudding trace, and I will point that out when we get there. We've been blending now for about 6 to 8 minutes, and you can see that it is much thicker than what it was, but we still haven't quite achieved that full trace, so we're going to blend for about another 2 minutes, and we can alternate between low and high in 10 to 15 seconds of bursts. At this point, we have reached full trace, and I can show you with a manual blender. By being able to see the lines that I'm creating, you have reached trace. At this point, we can now add our fragrance and hand blend it in. And this is a cranberry fig. We're just going to blend it in. Make sure you get every part blended so that your soap is evenly fragranced. You'll be able to smell it right through the mixture. Once it's well blended, you can go ahead and get your pre-lined soap mold. I have two. If you were to use a soap mold this big, you would have to double the recipe. But because my recipe is a little bit smaller, I'm going to go ahead and use a smaller mold that will create a thicker bar of soap. We're now going to pour it into our soap mold. Get as much of it out as you can. Clean up any little messes that you made. Just kind of smooth that out. You're now going to close your soap mold with the lid and insulate it with a towel, which I have over here. Now that your soap is getting insulated, go ahead and wait 24 to 48 hours before you can cut it. If you find that your soap is too soft, you'll have to wait another day to cut it. Once it is firm, take it out of the box, place it in a ventilated area for the next 4 to 6 weeks to cure properly, and be sure to switch sides. Like, go ahead and switch the soaps so that they get proper ventilation throughout the entire bar. By then, in 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be ready to use it on yourself and take your hot, steamy shower that you're so looking forward to. I hope you enjoyed this do-it-yourself project. Leave me comments and pictures of the soaps that you made, and let me know how you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye!